for sure. Shout out to Frankie from One Piece. And now we got Portugal versus USA. Portugal strikes first blood 2-0 and only 20 seconds in. Look, they're not playing, baby. They want to show.
They are not. Look at that. We heard a little bit of a cheer there as we were doing our throw over to the game. And that was the Portuguese players drawing first blood, but USA bouncing back with a three-pointer. Now, again, I'm not going to name names, but you know we're under the same roof here. 40 of the best 2K players in the world, if not the top 40 players in the world in one hotel. You know we're going to be doing our pre-production, our chats, talking to the players. And I asked them, what makes USA so difficult? They said, honestly, they are just a free-wheeling team, Vince. They play without a script. They can come out and beat you, any one of the 5 players on the court, what makes them so difficult to beat. And already we're seeing that here, 5-2, jumping out to a quick lead in this one. This is the battle of their lives if you're Portugal. They weren't at the World Finals last year, so this is their opportunity to shine on the biggest and brightest stage of all.
Making it a one-point game, and this is the first time we're seeing North America champs. USA, CB13 about averages 36 points a game. Dawson about 9, supersedes 14 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. You can run up to 5 because that 4.9. Crazy 7.5, and Mama I'm That Man averaging almost 44 points, and that's about 10 to 13 games. Now they average about 100 points a game. So if you're able to keep them underneath that triple score mark, you're doing a good job.
As we say that, Portugal rattle home a three-pointer to take a very slim 2-point lead. Made 100 points a game. Remember during regionals right there? We actually saw 100 points apiece from one player. It was absolutely ridiculous. So yes, USA, as advertised, they are phenomenal. And this is going to be a huge game right here as Henry Jones had a little bit of a clean kind of break to the bucket right there. Pumps it up and drops it back to PT Creative, though.
Getting a little acrobatic on that. Mama I'm That Man pump fake, trying to find CB13 on the left side, cross pass, but unable to do it, man.
Yeah, heads up timeout right there. Just avoiding a turnover. And it's tied 7 apiece. You'd be thinking if you're Portugal, so far so good. But the one thing that we notice in every single USA basketball game, okay, they play the full 4 quarters. So if you want to skate the river, young blood, you got to bring your game for full 4 quarters, which is easier said than done against world-class talent. The other game, Turkey versus New Zealand, is kicking off. New Zealand playing their 3rd game in a row. You touched upon it. That can take a toll, and it's best of 2, which really means they're about to play 6 games in a row at the highest possible level in the world. Goodness gracious me, I'm glad it's just us commentating.
Incredible, but also I want to shout out between Portugal and USA. They basically have 2 coaches back-to-back. We got the manager of Portugal, André Carvalho, but also the coaching staff of USA with Lance Sessions and also Josiah Cohen. And I'm also know a guy that was MVP last year of eFIBA Season 2, the one and only Johnny Red, is also giving some consultations. He may sub in once in a while, and you got to be crazy because this guy strokes the green as which he's growing a garden. But I'm loving both teams have been calm and letting their coaches guide them to victory. Still a close game, 7-7, and it's already 2:16 left in the first. This is actually uncharacteristic of USA.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned it, mate. They average 100 points a game. We knew, though, after the World Finals last year, the one takeaway that we saw from absolutely everybody was that they needed to improve defensively. We saw it from all the teams, and that's what we got right here. As you're seeing the ball go end-to-end, and Portugal eke out a 2-point lead right there.
It was great defense going to better offense, blocking underneath on that short corner, and then going transition and knocking down to 2. 9-7, as you see CB13, one of the top guards when it comes to this eFIBA. Great family. Seeing this man, Mama I'm That Man, new to this team, doing a nice little mid-range, getting a little funky with it, tying it 9-9.
Beautiful pull-up jump shot right there. Just a 9-footer. Absolutely, mate. This is like my dog and the cat on the couch. An unstoppable force meets an immovable object. But somebody's got to win, Vince. Best of 2. That's what it's all about. Henry Jones, the law firm, finding the cutting man. I thought he was going to pull the trigger on that. We know he has that range. Here comes No Brain Salazar down to Henry Jones. Good defense, though, from USA. Forces a missed dunk. And, hey, We're playing fractional basketball here, mate. That is the difference. That can be the difference in this one.
CB13, you got to be careful of his great offensive prowess, knocking down that mid-range, being highly intelligent when it comes to the game. But PT Creative, a great guard himself, give to Henry Jones one dribble, pull up, unable to hit the cup, and let's see this transition from USA.
Critical defensive rebound right there as well. Can they turn the boards into points? That's a good block. Just did enough to put the shot off right there. However, it will be USA with the inbounds here from the baseline, 16 to shoot in a low-scoring affair. So far, so good if you're Portugal. You've actually managed to put the brakes on a high-scoring team, which is USA. You're only down by 2, and pretty impressive so far in this one from both teams. I'm loving it, Vince.
Both teams, and both teams are very well oiled, like Tony Stark's workshop. Basically, it's War Machine versus Iron Man, and we're going to see this come out on top. But 13-19. Portugal trailing just by a little bit. Let's see if they can get a little revenge from that score from USA. Henry Jones on the left side. Give me a little pass, but great hand in the passing lane. As you see, give it to Mama, I'm that man. Doing a good pump fake. Good across, but again, hot potato. Nobody wants the ball.
Absolutely. I'm taking Don Cheadle in that fight, by the way. Here we go as we see a nice bucket at the other end. Portugal dropping in the 2 points. And that's really impressive, showing that this moment isn't too big for them, Vince. They get that steal, they turn the turnover into points. You love to see it. USA trying to have the final word here in what has been a cagey first quarter. Got a hand up in his face. That is going to be it. Only 2 points in it. Impressive stuff, my friend.
We don't see that a lot with a 2-point game when it comes to USA. Now, we don't know. They could be playing possum. I'm not going to lie. I've seen them do a lot of mind games. As you see, stroking that 3 right in that corner, 16-11. But you know they're going to put that pedal to the metal sooner or later.
Absolutely, mate. Here we go. And just to keep you updated in the other game, it's a pretty tight affair as well. Turkey have the lead 11-10 over New Zealand. But we're focused on this one right here, 16-11. It doesn't take much. Blink and you miss it, and the USA can jump out to a massive lead. Really important that Portugal keep up with them in this one, 18-11. And you can see that full court pressure coming into effect now. Hey, if you want to get rid of that pressure, you got to break that trap a couple of times, and then they'll take it back to half court.
PT Creative, give it to Henry Jones, the law firm, knocking down that gavel. Bomb. You're going right to jail with that one. 18-13, 4 minutes left in the second. Portugal's in this game, making only a 5-point affair. Good jump pass to CB13, trying to utilize that short corner. Going on that right side, beautiful screen, almost a pick and roll, but great defense from Portugal. You left him open behind that 3. Again, green bean, 21-13, extending the lead.
Positively filthy and beautiful at the same time. Are you kidding me? That step back was a thing of beauty. Amazing. It's an 8-point USA lead, and we spoke about this. You can have a great first quarter. Awesome. But you got to show up mentally immediately in the second. They are all gas all the time. As Henry Jones doing a good job just keeping the scoreboard ticking over, but they need some defense here, Portugal. I like the fact that they've also gone full court pressure, trying to get those turnovers. But now they have to transition back. That is quite often where the gaps will appear. Good rotation down to the open man. Risky pass across the baseline right there. Good defense, pulling up for the 15-footer, making it rain is nice.
23-15 indeed, going on the right side. PT Creative trying to get his team all on the same page, but Henry Jones, you know, is the nucleus from Portugal. PT Creative on that left side, almost a double team from USA. Great help defense. You see, it's kind of like a zone, but it's like a matchup zone. Understanding where your area is and then switching when it's needed. As you see, collapsing. That was a little bit of a misstep. You should have knocked that down. Offensive board to a second chance. That is unlikely, but again, just destroying the offensive boards. Henry Jones keeping that possession.
Absolutely mammoth rebounding there from Henry Jones. Simon B. Boland typically be hitting those as we get a nice bit of defense though from USA, trying for a transition bucket of their own. Gonna take the quick hot potato passes. Massive board there from Crazy, the beast in the gym this morning, getting a nice rebound there to keep his team with the possession.
Crazy hungry, just showing how ferocious he is underneath that rim. Little jump pass, hand in the passing lane. As you see, Portugal defense has been absolutely pristine, but unable to knock that transition 3. You need to score those points if you want to stay in the game with USA.
Hey, 3 missed threes in a row right there. Again, they'll be kind of holding themselves to a higher standard there. You can't kick yourself though. You just got to keep bouncing right back up. Really, the fact they're working those open threes is brilliant. That is a huge dunk from Hungary, though. Are you kidding? down in the paint, throwing it home. Phenomenal stuff.
That dunk was iconic as the Statue of Liberty. Powerful and full of freedom. And I'm liking it more and more. Now it's a 10-point affair, as I said. They could have been playing possum, and now they're extending that lead even more going into the second.
Absolutely. And hey, look, you're going to get shown zero mercy from Team USA. You got to make those threes if you want to run with the Bulls right here. Absolutely. And look, Portugal will know that. They had their number there in the first quarter. Now they just got to bounce back. I like the passes. I like the fact they're working it. A little bit of noise from the team right there. That's exactly what they needed.
Let's see if the history is going to be straight. Now it's the first time that these teams are playing each other because Portugal was not in that first tournament when it came to eFIBA season 2 in Open Sweden, and a great slammer jammer there. But Turkey 26-17. New Zealand still in the game, but Turkey is showing how dominant they are.
Well, Turkey, the 5-time champions of Europe. We know exactly what we're going to get from them each and every time as well. We're robbed of that USA-Turkey final last year. However, we may get it this year. You never know. So far, both teams firing on all cylinders. USA working the open shot. They miss, but those offensive points, those second chance points, so crucial in these tight games. Impressive stuff so far. But then again, if you're Portugal, you know you're just a couple of misses away from being right in this one as USA rattle home the three, and a nice celly there to push the lead to the largest they've had, which is 12 points.
They're still going to try their best to keep this game a close one, but again, it's best of 2, so you got to add up both scores from the games. Great mid-range, making it a 10-point affair with 50 seconds left in the second. And again, Portugal does have that talent. They do have that experience, but they never played against USA like this, so it'll be a good test.
Absolutely. And you're right, mate. Look, under a minute to play here in the first half. It's just flying by. The whole day is flying by. Like those threes are flying through the hoop for USA. 33-20 now. PT Creative right back on the horse, coming down the other end. Oh, we have activated player there for USA as we see a nice steal. Long-range bomber. Oh, no. Look out. That's a bad man right now in the corner. Heads up timeout, though.
Heads up timeout. Now he is activated with that takeover. If you don't know what it is, that is D-Bomber. That basically extends his the shooting prowess of it. That means he's not going to get better shots in the sense of it's like increasing it, but it's going to extend it, so maybe it's like shooting like a mid-range at like half court instead of being a true half-court shot. CP13 giving it to Mama, I'm that man, and almost proves my point, but unable to knock it down. 𝐸6 getting the offensive board, and now the transition going for Portugal. PT Creative keeping it on that left side, understanding he had a chance in the lane, but then a foul from USA.
And a score update. Don't look now, but from the other game, Turkey, who had a comfortable double-digit lead right there, it's been cut back to just a 4-point lead. New Zealand fighting back in this one, really fighting for their lives, it has to be said, Vince, as well. It's 32-26 right now in favor of Turkey. New Zealand very unlucky to lose that second one right there to Brazil and actually lose the series. However, fighting back in this one, they definitely need the win, desperately need the win. But over here, end of the first half, Portugal within 10, and you would have to be saying that's actually a pretty good result.
It is a pretty good result indeed, but when you give yourself that ability to try to come back, but the thing is that you can't dig that hole. 2 players on USA in double digits, that's CB13 and Mama, I'm that man, but you see no one in that world when it comes to Portugal.
That second quarter, though, that was the USA basketball that we're used to right there. That's on track with scoring 100 a game. I thought they did a fantastic job, Portugal, actually slowing things down when it came to that first quarter. But now we've got both games up on the screen right here. You're seeing Turkey in the red jerseys banging home a 3, extending the lead back to 9. That's a 5-point run right there for Turkey. And New Zealand within touching distance, though, in what has to be a must-win game for them as we go back full screen now to USA and Portugal. 12-point deficit. We know how good Portugal are, Vince. We know that that is 4 possessions. Ricky Tick, quick as you like, as they find Simon B. Boland, who misses again. That is very uncharacteristic for him, one of the best corner shooters in Europe. Just not quite having the game that he wants here in this one. Meanwhile, at the other end, USA punishing you And that is a reprieve of a timeout right there, as they just got to get their heads back in the game.
Right now, you need to lock up that defense like Zeus did the Titans if you want to stay in the game with USA. Now, their main offensive weapon is fast transition threes, which I think Portugal has basically limited them. However, once that starts going, it's going to be a slippery slope, and that's how they get into them triple-digit wins.
Well, it's like we spoke about at the tip-off right there, as we get another missed three and another massive board there from Henry Jones. Look, USA are going to give you 4 quarters, high octane. Any one of the 5 players on the court is going to punish you offensively. You don't know where the weapons are until they actually show up. It's phenomenal stuff, and that's exactly what the Portuguese are dealing with. So if they want to go toe-for-toe with them, they cannot miss those threes. We'll have a look at the stat sheet a little bit later, but they got to get it turned around right now.
Mama, I'm that man on the right side, taking his time, a little bit of jab set, trying to find Crazy Hungry on that roll, but unable. Great Portugal defense, super sees, almost concedes the moment, but unable, and now we're going to do a transition for Portugal.
Rare miss there from USA. Back the other end. Portugal, though, rattling it home with that green bucket animation. They needed that one. The lead is 9. This is a step in the right direction. We've seen time and time again in these world-class games, Vince, games won and lost truly in the third quarter, okay? It's when you give yourself a chance to come back and win it, or you shut out the game if you're the one with the lead. That is good defense from Portugal right there. USA have 10 to shoot. Stepping into that shot, rattling it home, a massive bucket right there.
This is what they're good at. You got to put that hand up, and sometimes they say, so what? But you got to give it credit for USA being undefeated, trying to get another chance to reign champion for eFIBA Season 3. They're already defending from eFIBA Season 2. Real quick, 4-point game, Turkey versus New Zealand. That's going to be tight, but we got to finish this one right here with USA and Portugal.
12-point differential right now. We're just under halfway through the third quarter. A lot of basketball left in this one. Portugal looking to draw some blood right there. Cannot. I like that look from Henry Jones, but just got to nail that jumper. USA back the other, and they don't leave a lot of points out there. But that Portuguese defense, that was showing up in the first quarter. They need some more of that. We saw a little bit of this. Backwards and forwards. You're getting whiplash here, the camera. Impressive stuff from USA, though. They missed that shot. And this is just leaving the door open ever so slightly. Just a crack in the door right there. PT Creative driving down the lane. There's a reach-in foul. I don't hate that. I mean, trying to get that ball back for your team.
If we could replay that play, that was a great defensive play. However, that pick and roll was fantastic. They did stop that drive, but the way Henry Jones got basically 2 other defenders to collapse on PT Creative and then could have a chance to the open shot, but that foul was smart without getting an open lane. Another violation, 3-second violation. The captain just missed out with the brain.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they were expecting the corner shot to go up a couple of passes earlier right there. So to his credit, he was getting ready to try and get another offensive board. Just a breakdown in comms. 12-point USA lead, trying to add to it right here. Under 90 seconds to play in the third. CP13 finds his teammate. Another miss for USA. So now, can Portugal capitalize on this though? They're getting the possessions back. Jump pass right there. Henry Jones rolling. PT Creative. Oh, got to be careful. Don't want that offensive foul. Simon be bowling. That's a charge. It is. There we go. Hey, we're playing 2K Bingo. We got our first charge of the game. We have that offensive screen right there. However, there we go. USA back the other way. Nice pass. Crazy Hungry. We saw with that crazy dunk earlier on. CB13 pulling it up. No foul. Zebras letting them play. And here come Portugal back the other way.
I'm liking the endurance of both these teams. It's like a Hunter x Hunter exam. They're not giving up at all. They're trying to get it. And then B, sneaking behind the lane, going right down baseline and dropping it down, bringing the pain. 41-31, and they're not quitting. But look at the defensive builds of Portugal. Their speed is key, understanding the recovery. But Super C is making you pay by stroking the green. 3-ball, corner pocket.
Gorgeous shot right there. And just when you thought they might have been quietening down, there goes that three-pointer from the corner. Creative, trying to get creative, gliding in with that two-handed dunk. And honestly, I like that. I think take the points that are on offer whenever you can get them. At this stage now, you got to clamp up defensively. try to give yourself a chance at this in the fourth, right? And it is best of two, so cumulative score comes into it as we see another nice Portuguese steal right there. It is certainly the most strained I've ever seen USA on the ball as we get an and one baseline dunk. And the Portuguese players letting USA know they're not out of this fight just yet.
The old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was so nice. We saw it twice. Same play, same result. 44-36, 4.3 seconds left in the third. But you're going to see if USA going to score 𝐸𝐸, he can knock that down when he can. But I'm pretty sure Portugal is proud from their showing in that third.
And now they'll be thinking, hey, couple of those missed threes, if they'd gone in, we're right in this with the best team in the world, the reigning champs. Portugal got a lot of wind in their sails right now, Vince. Here's Henry Jones trying to work a shot. That's going to be a reach-in foul down in the paint. And we're going to get the inbounds here from Portugal. This is a huge possession right here. Honestly, this could be a 6-point swing either way, so they definitely need the bucket. Nice dish right there. Henry Jones, pump faked, brought it out of the key. Cut, drive, it rims out. He gets his own board, kicking it back out. No shot, it drops in. 5-point lead now for USA. Portugal peaking at exactly the right moment.
Beat. Knocking down that three, 39-44. Let's see if USA can do it again. Got that friendly roll and just defuse it. That's called a wash if you're in the stock market. But still, in this game, only 8 points. Let's see what 𝐷𝐞𝐫𝐞 can do it. Giving it by that great hand in the passing lane. Super C's trying to use that speed, going all the way down to 𝐸𝐸, and a two-handed slammer jammer, making it a 10-point game.
5 points in quick succession there for Team USA. And you're finding out just how deadly they can be. Absolutely phenomenal defense leading to a quick transition bucket. Back the other way, working down to Henry Jones and a nice dunk. Hanging off the rim like a baby sloth right there. 8-point deficit in this one. The clock is your friend if you're USA, but I don't get the feeling they're going to be pumping the brakes anytime soon. They're definitely looking at Portugal saying, how dare you make me bleed my own blood. They're offended. They're going to come back in this one and try and score as many points as possible as the little man climbs the ladder with two defenders draped off of him.
Double headshot right there, understanding, trying to make sure Portugal knows they ain't going nowhere. But that's what happens when you have a 10-point deficit. You put yourself in the hole. Now you got to dig your way out. But let's see if they can knock down this three. Unable to get it. Henry Jones doing what he does best, getting that offensive board to keep the possession on his side.
And man, he has been Johnny on the spot, getting those boards for his team, keeping their hopes alive offensively on so many possessions. Really impressive stuff going up against the reigning world champs. Here comes 𝐷𝐞𝐫𝐞, a score update. It's the fourth quarter in between Turkey and New Zealand, and it is tied up at 52 apiece. We'll be getting to that game after the exciting conclusion of this one here as Portugal work an open three. The lead dashed to 7 again. Now they really need to stop here, the Portuguese. It's getting interesting down the stretch, Vince.
Oh my God, I think I have to go to a psychological class with this one because both games are blowing my mind at the same time. My bandwidth is on both sides, but 51-44, USA leading. 54-54, Turkey and New Zealand. Let's see what's going to happen. Couldn't get that dunk. 𝐸𝐸 from 3. You know he's great behind that arc. 54-44, now it's a 10-point game.
Absolutely phenomenal shooting here from USA. You love to see it. 𝐷𝐞𝐫𝐞 just playing the defender like a piano right now. Good cut there from Henry Jones, but great off the ball defense. Does manage to get the hard 2 in the paint. Cuts this lead to 8. Looking for this inbound steal if they can. Nearly. But hey, nearly never won the race. Now, under 2 to play in this one, Vince. It is going to come down to the wire here. USA with an opportunity to show that they don't have a hangover from winning last year's World Championship. Coming back with a massive three-pointer there. The lead is now 11 again.
𝐷𝐞𝐫𝐞 going to the left side. 1:40 left in the fourth. Find us a nice good cross shuttle pass to Simon, getting his defender up in the air, but then the O saying, here's the thing, if you move your feet, you lose your seat. 48-57, minute 33 left.
90 seconds left to play. Portugal needs some stops defensively. That ain't gonna do it though. Crazy hungry, getting hungry crazy right there in the paint. A massive dunk. And in the other game, we've got a 3-point game. Turkey with the ball and a 3-point lead. We'll be coming to that game very shortly. But right now, it's USA with an 11-point lead over Portugal, 1:20 to play in this one. Can Portugal get firing here? Coming down to the wire, Vince. We know they've got the skills to pay the bills, but they got to start dropping it in the hoop.
Well, let's see if they can do it, but I can keep talking about that 10-point deficit. That's hard to come back from. But they got to knock those on threes. And also, they're missing some open lane shots. I mean, if anything mid-range, you got to make it if you want to compete against USA. As in no-brain South, so giving up right here. PT Creative, that's a D3. Couldn't stroke it green. Henry Jones has been an absolute monster on the boards and giving it to his man, now making an 8-point game.
Massive, 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 massive three right there. Now they need these stops, Vince. It's coming down to this. Defense is going to win championships. That is what we've heard from just about every single team captain at the World Finals this year, eFIBA Season 3 in the Philippines. It's been absolutely on display so far in all of our opening games. Portugal looking for a stop against the offensive juggernaut that is USA. You're seeing how good they are. What a massive board there from Crazy Hungry. That really helps because seconds are as valuable as points right now if you're Portugal. And USA get another dip at it right here. Off balance, 20-footer, massive board. Got to have some points down this end. That's a heads-up foul right there. Not in the bonus, and it stops the bucket.
Still got some fouls to give, as you can see right down the bottom. USA 3 fouls, Portugal 0, 16.2 seconds. Now, what are they doing? Are they holding for the last shot so that if it's best of 2, they just worry about the deficit instead of winning this game? That could be a smart play here because that's what I think they're trying. An 8-point deficit is not that bad, and if they can cut it down to 6, that would be great. Simon B. Bowling knocking it down, unable to get it. Now, it was a loss. USA did do a good job, but that was a close match. First time playing Portugal ever, so we can say Portugal is here to play and stay.
Absolutely. They took not only the current reigning world champs, but they held them, Vince, to only